Welcome guys, Tammy here from Flutterby Creations. I hope you're having a great day. I've had a great day because I've just made these little beauties. Excuse the scribbles on my hand. So if you'd like to learn how to make these lovely little hearts in a quick and easy way, please keep watching. Alright everyone, so in order to make this heart charm keychain, what you're going to start with is your yarn of choice and then obviously your hook of choice. So I'm going to make a relatively small little heart, so my hook is a size 3 compared to what the yarn requires, which is size 4. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to want to do is make a magic ring. And how I do this is I put my yarn over my 2 fingers, wrap it around so that I have sort of a cross on the top there, put my hook under the first one, grab the second one like so, and do a slip knot through that loop, and I have a magic ring. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 6 single crochets into this magic ring. And just to recap, single crochet is in under the magic ring, pull up a loop so you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, again it is go into the magic ring, pull up a loop so you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So we're going to do that 3 more times because I've got 1, 2, 3 single crochets. So 4, 5, and 6. Alright, so now I have 6 single crochets in my loop, my magic ring, sorry. I'm going to pull tight, and then we're going to start the next row. So round number 2 is we're going to try and create a point for the bottom of the heart. So we're going to go single crochet around the 6 stitches again. So a lot of people recommend, sorry, I'm just struggling to get into the stitch there because it's so tight. A lot of people recommend putting a stitch marker into your first or your last stitch just so you know how many stitches you've got. But for this, because it's so tiny, I like to just count how many stitches I do because I know I only need 6. So let's go 6 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last one, 6. Right, so that was round 2. I did 6 single crochet. Now for round 3 we're going to increase until we get 12 stitches. So you're basically going to do 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. So let's go from here. We're going to go 1 and 2 into the same stitch. And again, I'm going to go 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Alright, now do that all the way around until you count 12 stitches, and then we'll get to the next row. Alright, welcome back guys. So as you can see, I have added a stitch marker onto my 12th stitch here, because from here it's going to be a little bit more tricky to grow our heart. So just to keep yourself sane, a stitch marker is needed from this point on at least. Alright, so the next round we're going to increase again. Right, so single crochet into the first stitch, single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets into the second stitch, 2 single crochets, Okay, I've done 2 single crochets into the second stitch. Okay, so now we're going to repeat the pattern. We're going to go 1 single crochet, which I've done here, and then we're going to go 2 single crochets into the second stitch. And this is how we're going to go all the way around until we get 18 stitches. So please carry on until you have 18 stitches, guys, and I'll meet you at the end. Right, welcome back, guys. I have got 18 stitches around now, and I have also moved my stitch marker to my 18th stitch. So what I recommend is you just make sure that you're crocheting on the right side of your crochet and not the wrong side. Otherwise you might find yourself in a bit of a tangle, because I did crochet another heart before this and I did the same thing and I found myself in a little bit of a tangle. So as long as you're crocheting on the right side, you should be okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to do a row single crochet around, and at the end we should have 18 stitches again. Once you have 18 stitches around, again I will meet you back at the end. Right, welcome back, guys. So I have done my 18 stitches around again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to increase for another row. So we're going to do 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches and then an increase into the third stitch. Right, so let's do 2 single crochets, 1 into the next stitch, 2 single crochets, okay, and then into the third one we're going to do an increase, so 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Alright, then we're going to repeat that same pattern, 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches and an increase of 2 single crochets into the same stitch in the third one, all the way around until we get 24 stitches. Please carry on, guys, and I'll meet you at the end. Right, everyone, so I've got my 24 stitches around. So now the next round you're going to just do a single crochet all the way around until you've done 24 stitches, and I'll meet you for the next step afterwards. I've done my 24 single crochet around. Now next step is obviously I've removed my stitch marker. I'm going to fold this circle in half. There you can see it's the beginnings of my heart. So now we're going to take our stitch marker and we're going to mark the middle of the circle. So as you can see, guys, I have put a stitch marker in the middle of my circle and attached it on both sides. So you should have 11 stitches on your left and 11 stitches on the right of your circle. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our working stitch and we're going to single crochet all the way around on the left side until we get to the stitch marker. I will meet you again once you've done that. Alright, so I have single crocheted all the way around those 11 stitches on the other side, and now you can see the heart is now shaping up pretty nicely. Now we're making room for our 2 little bumps for our heart, our 2 little mountains. Alright, so let's get ready for the next step. So I have now crocheted my 11 stitches on the left side. Remember, now my circle is now the other way around on this side. So now when I get to this stitch marker, what I'm going to do is I am going to slip stitch the 2 sides together. So it's probably going to be easier if I remove the stitch marker first. Make sure that our hook has gone through both sides. Grab our yarn, pull it through, do a slip stitch to attach the 2 sides. Alright, now I'm going to single crochet these 11 stitches on the other side, and I'll meet you at the end. Right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and turn. Now we're going to single crochet the 11 stitches back this way until we get to where we slip stitched. So do that for me, please, and then I'll meet you at the end. Right, now our heart is taking shape very nicely now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and we are going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease. So I like to do an invisible decrease, so I'll show you now how to do one. So let's chain 1, turn our work. We'll just stuff that tail in there, sorry. Okay, turn our work. We're going to do 2 single crochets, 1, and into the next stitch 2. Right, now we're going to do an invisible decrease. So how we do this is, instead of going through the entire stitch with both strands, we're going to go through the front strand, pull up a loop, and the next stitch, front strand, and pull up a loop, so that we have 3 loops on a hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Sorry, I'm struggling a little bit here. I think I caught a strand of yarn. There we go. Pull through all 3. Right, and then we're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches and do that invisible decrease again, all the way around until you get to the last stitch. Please continue with that, and I'll meet you again at the end. Alright, as you can see here, I have a single stitch left. So you will have only been able to do 2 decreases, and then you'll be left with 1 single stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a single crochet into that stitch. So with having done the 2 decreases, you should have 9 stitches. Right, I do have 9 stitches all the way around, and as you can see, the heart is shaping up really nicely. So now, in order to start getting it to close itself up, we're going to do another round of decrease. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 1 single crochet and then a decrease. So let's get started. Let's go. Sorry, just unravel my yarn here a little bit. Okay, so we're going to go chain 1, turn your work, then we're going to 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then an invisible decrease, which again is your hook under the 1 strand, and then you're into the next stitch under the 1 strand, pull up a loop each time, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that is your invisible decrease. Single crochet, invisible decrease. So please do this until you get to the end, and I'll meet you there. Right, so there is the first side of our heart done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a tail long enough to be able to sew the 2 sides together. There we go. Alright. I'm going to just make a little knot. Make sure it's secure. Alright. Now we're going to attach our yarn on this side, and we're going to start the same process on this side as we did here. Alright guys, so we've reached the end. Last few steps, what you're going to do is you're going to either stuff your heart. You can totally stuff it to make it nice and puffy. I'm going to stuff this one to make it nice and puffy, and then you're going to tie off, leave a length of yarn so that you can sew these ends together, and then I'm going to do this and we can have a look at the results afterwards. So here it is, guys, this lovely heart that I've completed. As you can see, I have sewn the ends together. I have also stuffed it with some stuffing, and then I created a chain and added a ring to make it a lovely little keychain. Please let me know down in the comments if there are any other tutorials you'd like to see, and I'll see you in the next one.